So today, Tony rode his Pan America over because he's got some
Boxes.
boxes, which only mean one thing. We have some parts to put on the old Pan,
And
so we're going
we got
to get to it.
Loctite. Means the parts won't fall off because it is a Harley after all.
So what we actually have is, actually you've had this for a while now.
That's the factory Harley Davidson headlight guard. I kind of regret buying it because they have the same one on Amazon for like 30 bucks, but it's not returnable. I already ripped it open, so we're just going to send it. Try to save the headlight because I think that's $700 to $900 to replace. It'll stop some of the big rocks, won't stop the small rocks, but I own it at this point, so we're just going to send it. And then we got a big box. The big box.
Easy cowboy.
It's from Camel ADV. We got their Pan America gut guard. It has packing peanuts. That's my only complaint so far. And because they make a mess.
I'll do this.
Oh boy.
I'll get rid of
Let's get these packing peanuts cleaned up and we'll show you the skid plate.
Yeah.
Oh God. This is not good on a windy day.
Styrofoam.
Oh.
Here, it's all taped together. Just pull it right out. Oh God, we missed.
It's packed well. What is that?
Just a piece of cardboard.
Oh. I think that's it. And
all
of course,
taped together.
like packing peanuts, they are all over the driveway. Perfect. Wait. Are they edible? They are edible.
Oh, we have to put a disclaimer not to eat packing peanuts. Oh God!
They actually
The wind's
taste.
starting to pick up.
They taste like nothing, and they have a texture
Oh
of popcorn.
God!
Take the bolts. Oh, we got stickers. I only buy products that come with stickers.
Looks good in black.
Yeah, it does. And this is supposed to be really heavy duty. It's got a
Tell by the sound. Look at the thickness.
yeah. It's got mid plate that mounts to the bottom of the motor because this is a stressed
member.
Stressed member is the motor, so all the other skid plates I could find except the Toratec, I believe, bolt right to the engine, so if you take a hard impact, it could shear off or crack your engine case. The Camel one has a little subframe, little plate that Bobby's unboxing
Oops, hardware down.
that gives it a little give and some stuff, so that piece of that plate in the middle will absorb any real hard impacts and try not to shear the bolts off the motor.
Looks like they give you holes for what, drain plug, oil filter?
Yeah, I think so.
Would assume. We'll find out when we crawl under there.
Well, actually, this cutout right here is cut out so you can get to the drain plug without taking it off. And this cutout here is so you can get to the oil filter without having to take the skid plate off.
Cool.
Which is nice.
Was it 3/16?
I think
yeah.
it's 3/16 or quarter.
That might be quarter. That's pretty thick.
I did just watch a video on it on Camel's website, and he said they're all hand welded in-house right in his shop by hand. Zoom in on those dimes. Look at those welds.
Actually, that is nice.
That is a super nice weld.
That guy knows how to do it.
High quality. Tested to the full extreme, off-road, even bashed it with a sledgehammer in his video, and no damage to the bike at all. Bends this plate a little bit, but that's what this plate's for.
All right, so I'm assuming first step is we have to burn our fingertip prints off by taking the stock one off.
Yep, we're going to take the stock plate off, and we're actually reusing all those bolts.
What are those, Torx or Allens?
I think they're a T40 Torx. We'll get some tools out, and we'll get to it.
All right, so Tony's taking off the factory skid plate, which uses a T40 Torx for all the heads on the bolts for the factory plate. This one, the Camel one, uses a 5mm Allen key. So once he's getting that off, we're going to get this one prepared, and we'll go onto the bike.
And are you still recording?
Yes.
Because under here, this skid plate's pretty bad shape. Look at the catalytic converters flat back here from where I
flattened that all out and dented that.
There's why it's worth the money.
That's why we're putting a skid plate on it, because our buddy just had a motor put in his Pan America, and I think it was around 13 grand.
When you flattened the cat, was that when you hit that really big speed bump in the Arby's drive-thru?
Yeah. That's why we run skid plates.
Get that off. Put one bolt on the other side. I think it's only 6 bolts, and we're using all of them on the new skid plate. There's nothing to this, and you can see how dented and bent it is, and
Yeah, that's tinfoil.
doesn't
compared
protect
to,
anything right here on the voltage regulator, and it's already bunged up from rocks hitting it, coming off the front tire. Oh, I got trees and leaves up in here too.
Yeah, so you guys, the stock one's not even 1/8 inch, hardly. Aluminum, pretty open, so quite an upgrade for that.
Not bad. So far, so good. All right, so here's the what would you call it? Like a mid plate kind of thing.
Lines right up with the factory holes under here. Fits perfectly. It's got these nuts welded in where the skid plate mounts onto this. And so what you do is you reuse the factory hardware, put it through the hole, you get one started. There's 4 spacers, one for every mounting point to the motor. And you want to hold it up, get one started just loose somewhere. Kind of working upside down, right side up. Started with the spacer. Leave them all loose. Start them one at a time. Oh, see? Spacer goes on top. Right there. I must have the gas vent in front of my face right here. It stinks.
Well,
Like-
Bobby went inside.
Another spacer. And you're going to leave these loose until you put the skid plate onto this. And then there's actual holes in the skid plate where you can tighten up these 4 bolts after you tighten the skid plate. It just leave it loose so you can get the front 2 up top in. Be back in 1 second. I forgot to put Loctite on these before I put them in. I'll take all these back out, but yeah. All right. Try this one more time. But with Loctite.
Blue Loctite.
Blue Loctite. Because if you use the bike, if you use it hard and you bang it up enough, you might have to replace this mid plate, which is a lot easier and cheaper than buying a new engine case or engine. And again, they do make GB weld.
All right, gonna give Graham a hand here.
I'm gonna hang the front.
Hang on.
Hold on.
You got a wire
We
sticking
pinched
up.
the wire.
Yep. Okay, there you go.
Is yours lined up?
What's it?
This is where it's nice to have an extra set of hands, but you could do this yourself if you had to. And we'll add the angle here.
Yeah.
So we just put that bolt on right there to hang it from the front, kind of like a hinge. Sorry, I'm trying to work a tripod here.
All right. You got yours in?
Yep. Siri has some input, I guess.
Thanks for your help, Siri.
All right, that's good.
Siri. Hey Siri. Buy KTM parts.
Sorry. So now, these comes with 6 bolts. They're countersunk, and they will go up into the plate on the motor somehow.
You Loctite those or no?
Yeah, I pre-Loctited them all. I gave them I put a dab of dew on all of them. I just can't see which way it's got to go. That's why we left the plate loose, so you can try to line them up. Try to get one of them to grab. There's one. There's 2. I believe there's 6 of them. All right, so we're getting these bolts in. Finally figured them out. Just had to wiggle them around. And while I'm putting in the rest of these, we are, yeah. We are helping raise money for the Wounded Warrior Project as part of Adam Sandoval's Great American Convoy. He's coming to our local dealership on June 24th. We're going to meet with him, ride with him to a couple dealerships. And there's a link below down in the description so you guys can help the Wounded Warrior Project, make a donation, and yeah.
Yeah, every dollar counts. If you give even just $1, $5, we got the goal. We're trying to raise $3,000. What we're doing to earn that money is we're trying to do an iron butt. So we said $1,000 for 1,000 miles, but all 3 of us are going to do it. So that's our $3,000 goal. We got a good start, but we still need everybody's help. So anything helps.
Yeah. Can't wait.
There'll be more content to come on that. We'll be doing a video with our iron butt and Adam Sandoval's visit. So it's all for a great cause and should be a good time. And we get to suffer through an iron butt.
And if you're in the area, June 24th, come down to Old School Harley Davidson around 3 o'clock. I think you're scheduled to be there. And come hang out, make a donation, meet Adam Sandoval.
Look at that fitment. That fitment around the pipe, the fitment around the bracket for the factory crash bar. It's incredible. And like we already said, the welds, making my decision for the Tenray, the skid plate, a lot easier.
Yeah, doesn't he
That
specialize in that?
That one's even worse than the factory Pan Am one on the Tenray. Yeah, he's from what I've seen on his social media, he does a lot of Tenray work.
He has a couple of them. And
Oh yeah,
he bashes,
I think
he
personally
bashes the crap out of them.
I think he personally rides one too. Yeah, he does all kinds of like enduro racing and riding out in his part of the country.
Yeah, Devin, come around here. Look at this. You can see where it hangs a little bit lower right here than a kickstand assembly because the kickstand is mounted to the engine case. And so when you hit stuff, it's going to slide off and not take out this bracket. Also, right here, where is it? Somewhere right here, one of these 2 spots. It's cut out for the drain plug on the motor right here. So you never have to take the skid plate back off again to do your oil changes. And it's cut right here so you can get to your filter with a wrench. Get a little bit of oil down there, wipe it out, or drive the front of the bike up on like a 2x4 so it's just at a very slight angle. And the oil should mostly just drain right out, wipe it with a rag. Good to go.
That's a nice design on it. My KTM one, granted I grabbed that for a steal, $100, but They pretty much recommend you gotta take the thing off to do an oil change, so I'm like not too excited about that, but
And you think about it, that thing's going to be getting beat up by rocks underneath, and it's going to wreck the heads of the bolts full of dirt. It's like, this way you never have to take it back off and keep wearing out the hardware and rounding them out, gouging them with rocks. Put it on once, leave it for life.
I'm just looking at this one here, and they sell a lot of, Camel sells a lot of products for the Tenray, and I'm impressed by this quality. So it's got me thinking, because that Tenray needs a lot of stuff.
I think we need more Camel in our lives.
alright guys, on to phase 2 of this video. The Harley Davidson, using the part number there, headlight guard. $104.95.
Too much money. Wish I went with a cheap one off Amazon, but we're just sending it because I already opened it and not going to return it. Got to figure this out. It's kind of complicated to get it to fit. Got all these spacers and doodanglers and more popcorn.
Stuff falling over.
Anyways, come over here. Huh, popcorn's stale. Gonna do this on the bench. Just pull the front fairing off. It's just on there with some rubber clips. Little push pins. You pull it right off. And the headlight guard, kind of you put pieces of foam tape that are included all cut. And it just sandwiches right here on the front. And you put the brackets on. It sandwiches just like that on the front of the headlight, just to keep it from getting hit with rocks. And there's foam that with glue on it to go on here so you don't scratch any of the painted surfaces. And get this thing ready to go, line up the tape, and see if we can get it put on. What is going on with these? Oh. I guess they just peel right off. Even though it said there's supposed to be a backing on them.
I think in a perfect world we would have cleaned that with something or other, but you'd be alright.
It's clean. And I think these are just to protect the paint and help sandwich it in there so it has more grip, because it actually doesn't bolt to the bike. It kind of sandwiches in with the plate.
We'll mess it up now.
I think I already did, but it's a Harley. We're just going to go with it. It's all stuck to my fingers. Of course, because I'm not good at this kind of stuff. But I think that's how these go. Just kind of lay it on there. And these ones go on the inside. There's a notch right here, and there's a little tab built into the plastic, just part of the mold. And you line that up, and these sit in here like that. And they have the foam tape, and you sandwich the other part through, and you tighten down the screws. There's 3 screws on each side, and that just kind of grabs, and it just kind of clamps in there. It actually doesn't bolt to the bike.
Well, let's get this other side on and show it put together.
Yep, sure. So there's these little spacers that go on in between the screw, bolts from the front, into this little plate. And Harley directions tell you to hold it all up there and try to get the spacers in, but I'm going to try to put it all together like that, all loose, and try to slide it up underneath and then center it up and tighten it down. So I'm going to get all these nuts in and the spacers, and we'll see if it fits.
If it fits, it ships.
Hello?
Hello?
All right, so my plan did work. Left them all loose. Kind of slid it up in here. I had to fight with it a little bit, just kind of push it up in there. But all in all, it fits pretty well. Now we're going to tighten it up. I'm going to just pull it up as high up as it'll go. I'm going to work from the inside out. So I'm going to start with the 2 inside ones. Just hold it up a little bit. Crank it down. The screws included from Harley do have Loctite on them, which is nice. And this just kind of sandwiches in there. Don't want to go too much. All right, we got that tightened down. Again, like I said, you see a little bit of the foam in between. Not too terrible. Definitely not worth $105 from Harley Davidson. But I think all you got to do now after you tighten that up is carefully slide the fairing back in here without scratching it. I'm going to scratch it now because I said that. And you just got to line it up on these push pins.
On a side note,
And that's
what's your favorite color, Bob?
Red.
Blue. 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 Blue.
that's it. Just push it on. We're going to wipe it down, get some fingerprints off, but
Looks good.
looks good. Pretty clean, actually. Looks better on there than I thought. That should-
Real big adventure guy now.
That should keep some rocks out. Got all the protection now. Got headlight guard, radiator guard, skid plate, got the crash bars, got the Tortec. What are they? Hand guards. Real strong. And I think that's about it for now. Eventually, I'm going to put an exhaust on it. Maybe get the exhaust protector. But I think that's about it for protection.
All right. Well, guys,
Looks good, Tony.
if you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. That's the best way you can support us. As you can see, we got plenty of variety of bike content. Season's just getting started here in New England, so plenty more coming. If you're a faithful subscriber, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Ride safe.